So, with it being Halloween and all, I decided to talk about one of my favorite horror movies that I normally just don't talk about, probably because, not that it so much scares me, it's that it makes me just creeped out. It just makes me feel dirty. And I'm pretty sure, not like dirty like, ooh, I'm a pervert kind of way, it's more like dirty like I need to take a shower after watching this movie kind of dirty. I just feel filthy after watching this film. And that film is, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh lord, this movie. You can understand why this is probably one of the best-known horror films of all time. And even though a lot of the sequels are not really good, they're more like... Because you can't really top the amount of work even Tobe Hooper was like, I can't do this again. When you look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, it's a completely different film. And I feel like, yeah, Tobe Hooper was like, there is no way in hell I'm gonna top my movie. I'm gonna make fun of it. That's what I feel like it almost is, in a way. But I'm not talking about the sequels, I'm talking about the original film. This film is, for those who don't know, it's a group of kids, they're going on a road trip, and then they run to Leatherface and his clan. Now, the thing with this film is that it is shot in the most gritty... It's obviously a 70s film, but it's gritty, everything just feels nasty. It feel like when you're out there and like the out there and where these kids are, you feel nasty. You feel like you can almost feel the heat. And man, Tobe Hooper knows how to shoot some. He knows how to shoot some film. He knows how to make you just by scenery alone. He knows how to make you feel a certain emotion or certain way. Like again, when you're out there in those endless fields, you're like, God damn. Man, I can almost feel the heat right there. And yeah, when they're most of the kids are good. The kid in the wheelchair, however, I understand that he's supposed to be like a special needs kid. But man, they just want you to hate this character, don't they? And it sucks too because you're not supposed to hate the character. You feel bad, especially for the main girl. You feel you want them to get out of here alive, even though they do. Yes, they do. A majority, all the characters do fall into. Yeah, these characters are all just one-dimensional characters, and they all are just there for being cannon fodder, and none of them die well. Well, of course, we all know one manages to get away, but the ones that do get killed do not die well. They just do not die well in in any way, shape, or form. And again, you gotta give credit to the cinematography of this film, because when you're in Leatherface's house with his family, everything just feels gross and nasty. There's a room full of just human bones, and when you're at the dinner oh god, the dinner tables, oh Jesus. This movie, do not eat when you're watching this. If you can, then you have a stronger stomach than I do, because I just can't eat while watching this movie. I remember I was eating I think chicken the first time I was watching this film, and when it got to the dinner table scene, and from then on I was like, I just can't eat anymore. So you got that going for you. There is also some great scenes. Of course, the ending scene with Leatherface just screaming and throwing that chainsaw around. That scene has been parodied a few times over. Recently, I saw it in an episode of Clarence. Yeah, there was a parody of that scene in an episode of Clarence, and it took me a second. I was like, are they really? Yeah, they are. They're parodying Texas Chainsaw. So good on them. Honestly, this is a film, if you're a horror fan, I feel like this is, required watching up there with, of course, the Friday the 13th films, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. This is, Leatherface is one of those slashers that you just just Texas Chainsaw Massacre in general is a type of film that you just need to watch it's one of those movies you need to watch for Halloween, or, when you feel like purging everything out of your stomach. Because, again, I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't watched this movie and you just cannot stand... Because the thing is that it's not so much gory as it is, it just makes you feel ill. There's one scene, and you guys probably know the scene I'm talking about, where one guy Leatherface just comes out of nowhere with a hammer and just cracks this guy in the head with this hammer, and you hear the sound of the hammer hitting the guy's skull, and he just goes down instantly, and you know that guy ain't getting up. That scene right there, and when you hear that sound, it just sends just makes my skin crawl. And that's not the only scene. Of course, there's several others, and legitimately, when there's nothing happening, like when it's just Leatherface down with his family at that dinner table scene, you just want to get out of there. You feel like you just do not belong, and you just want to stop watching. Like, first time I watched this movie, I was like, I had to physically power my way through this film. I had to, like, physically power myself. And again, I was not, when I first saw this movie, I was just not prepared for the amount of depravity that was in this film. And god damn it, did I enjoy it after this film. But after the movie, I was like, that was really good. I need to take a shower now. Oh, man. But this film is just so... It's beautifully shot for a horror film. Let me stress that. For a horror film, it's beautifully shot. The character, especially the one character that tries, you root for, the one girl you want to root for, you want to see her get away, and there's some other characters in there. This movie does not have a high body count, so if you're looking for like a giant, slash kind of a bunch of characters die, this is not it. This is a very well, but when characters do die, they don't die well. Yeah, they just do not die well in this film at all. But again, this movie's been out for years. It's been out since the 70s. It's, again, like I said before, this is a film that is pretty much required horror movie watching right here. This is something that I think it's kind of like on the list of films you need to watch. Like, again, Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or, something like Scream or something of that nature as well. So all in all, this is a film I've been always wanting to talk about, but I never really had a chance to. But considering it's Halloween, I decided to talk about a movie and a character that I've never really touched on my here. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Have you ever seen the movie? And if you haven't seen the movie, I cannot stress this enough. Really go in there and just be prepared. That's all I can say. Just be prepared for this film, because, like I've said, even though I knew what was going to happen, even when I knew the whole film, but I never saw it, like, obviously I'd seen, it'd been on everybody's list, everybody talked about it, I knew what it was, I'd seen the sequels. Yeah, I saw the sequels before I ever saw the original film. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally prepared for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I can totally take whatever it can throw at me. Oh, God, was I wrong. I mean, I can watch it now, but I still feel like filthy after watching it. Like, I had just watched an actual snuff film. It just makes you feel... for me, personally, it just makes me feel like I really need to take a shower after watching this film. Anyway... So, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.